You are yet to take a course, but this is the career path that you want to take a course in. But I would like you to use the chat once again to type where your what career path you're trying to get a job in. So is it data science? Is it data analytics? Is it data engineering? Is it business analysis, project management? Please use the chat and type where the career path you're trying to get a job in. Okay, Samuel says looking to get a data analytics job in the UK. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Samuel, for that. So let me get more responses, right? So there's a reason why I need to know the career path of interest to you. Olufolahan says project management. Taiwo says data analytics. Can I get more people? Adeola says business analysis. Okay. Cybersecurity for Ngozi, same for Olutayo. Musumola says project management, business analysis in Canada. Amazing. Chandwara says project management. Beautiful. Kumar says quality analyst. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Joy Deep says data analytics. Dev Trivedi says looking for project management Scrum Master role. Timilein is looking for data scientist role in the UK, London, UK. Beautiful. So please keep it coming. I know we have more people on the call, but I love the fact that I have gotten responses from quite a number of people already. So I think it's good enough for me to get started with. And welcome once again. The session is going to be on how you fix your CV. And we will do that live on the call. I will take your questions towards the end of the session. And I would also share some tips that would really help make your job search easier and also give you your desired results faster. So please stick around, stay with me, as this is going to be a session that will be worth your while. Thank you, Chiamaka. You're trying to get a job in governance, risk, and compliance. Now, I know that you most likely would have friends, colleagues, and family members that would want to, that might find this session beneficial. So please, if you have people you know this can help, you might also want to share that the link to this session with them. Yes, we're going to be recording the session, no doubt about that. But I will still like for you to share with friends or colleagues that you know would love to be here. My name is Omomi Victoria Samson, one of the co-founders at Amdari, also the Chief Technology and Business Officer. I started my career in tech as a software developer. I transitioned into project management, and then I transitioned into business analysis. And trust me, for every stage of transition, I needed to build experience around that new field. I needed to build competence around that field. So it was not a case of, oh, but you already have a tech background, so you can just wing it and it just goes from there. No, right? Because for me to thrive, for me to get the job and keep the job, I needed to be able to function effectively and efficiently in that capacity. And that could only come from exposure, practice, and familiarity, right? Like depth in the field. Because I wasn't the only one applying to those roles, and because I wasn't the only option the recruiters have. So it was very important for me to stand out. I might have traits, a lot of traits that would set me apart from others. But is 30 minutes, 1 hour interview or conversation enough for them to find this out from me? No. So how will I show them that I have so much more that I can bring to the table? It has to reflect from my CV. From the minute my CV is sent out, I am being represented. Up until when my CV gets past the ATS and maybe gets through the human recruiter and then they choose to call me for an interview, I need to be sure that I am well positioned via my CV. And when the CV gets there and maybe I pass every benchmark that they were measuring for at that stage, then I am being interviewed. 30 minutes, 1 hour conversation is not enough for them to know all about me. So I need to be sure that everything I say will sell me properly. So saying I am passionate, I am enthusiastic, I'm interested in this, is not enough to convince them, because that would mean them giving me a chance, them testing me out for a couple of months to really say, oh yes, Omomi really did not lie. But there is another person, maybe a Chiamaka or Osifo, that is coming with not just words and passion, but actual proof of what they can do and how they have delivered before. So it is competitive. So I need to be able to convince recruiters from the get-go that I can actually deliver. And trust me, passion, and all those words that makes us sound like we are aspirational is not going to help. So one thing I learned, like I said, is I needed to build experience. And being someone that has also been in the position to hire people, it means I have both points of views. The point of view of a candidate and the point of view of a recruiter, because I've been hiring right now for the past 3 years. And I can tell you, I know the mistakes that candidates make. And being somebody that has also been a candidate, I know exactly how things now begin to make sense to me. And I'm like, oh, that was why this particular feedback was very necessary. So I'm going to be sharing all of that with you as somebody who perfectly understands both words, the word of the recruiter and the word of a candidate like yourself, right? So, and we will be breaking it down on the call, and I will be giving you tips that works fast. It's not magic, it's work, right? But it's just smart work and faster results. That is what this conversation is going to be about. And I have experience working across edtech, filmtech, marketing, as well as financial services. And I promise you, in the last 2 years through Amdari, I have been able to help over 3,000 candidates gain real world experience. Some of them have landed tech roles that came with sponsorship, while some of them just landed roles that, gives them an opportunity to get their foot in the door, and everything else from there is visa sponsorship conversation. And so me hinting at the fact that, in the last couple of years through Amdari, I've been able to help professionals gain experience, and some of them have land roles, brings me to exactly what we do at Amdari. So who are we at Amdari and what do we do? So Amdari is a platform that helps you gain real-world experience through internship. That's the simplest way to put this, because I'm sure you're familiar with the need for UK work experience. You apply to jobs, they want somebody that has experience working in the UK. You apply for opportunities, they want somebody that is familiar with UK work environment. Now, you are not the only one in this position. I mentioned earlier that I'm speaking as somebody who understands both words because I have been there. Now, the other co-founders of Amdari, similar experience, you'll get to know them briefly as I proceed. We help you gain real-world experience because we know that even for us, one thing that helps was internship. For me, I took a course in front-end development, and 2 months into my training, I immediately built experience because I realized that tech field is 100% execution driven. You cannot be taking courses, digesting theory over and over for a lot of reasons. One, information retention is going to drop the minute all you do is just theory and you've not maybe learned in like 5 days, 2 weeks, and 1 month. It drops, right? It drops to about 20% information you're able to retain because you only read or watched somebody speak and break down concepts. You did not expose yourself to it. You did not write it down, probably. You did not implement anything. So you would easily forget. For me, how I learned, right? And this is the most basic type of learning. For any time I'm learning, I need to write something down. Because for some reason, me writing it down is like printing it inside my head. Like I don't forget if I write it down. So imagine just writing something down is a perfect way to say that, you're trying to retain some information. Now imagine you don't even write anything down, or rather imagine you actually even get hands-on. The information you retain is not even the point here. It is the kind of knowledge you would get exposed to, because from those tiny little mistakes you make, you're like, and they didn't tell us this in class. You're beginning to figure things out on your own. You're beginning to get familiar with the system, and even beyond what you're taught, you're beginning to get very much, your knowledge base is getting exposed, right? So that's the beauty of learning by doing. And you can't learn a tech skill for 3, 5, 6 months without getting hands-on. You have to get hands-on. If you don't want to spend the next 7 months learning, and then you're wondering why you're not getting a job, immediately you start applying to jobs. That's because your mode of learning is not a valid way to really say you have gained mastery. I would repeat that again. It is not a valid way to say you have gained mastery. You have only gained knowledge. You have to learn, obviously. You have to take those courses. Yes, you have to listen to an instructor or a trainer. Yes, you have to do all of that because that is the first step. But we always stop at that step, a stage. We assume all we have to do is take the course, listen to those videos, and it stops there, or it ends there. It doesn't end there. That is the first step. The next step is not application to jobs. The next step is building competence, gaining mastery, and that comes with being very hands-on. So the conversation today is on being hands-on because that is the only way your CV can represent you like a practitioner. Your CV is meant to represent you like a practitioner, not a graduate, not a learner. All right. So we have two types of CVs that recruiters see every time: enthusiasts, learners, or people that don't even know what they are doing yet because they just take any CV and just start applying to jobs with it. How do you want the recruiter to take you seriously? And then we have the practitioners. The practitioners get shortlisted. So is your CV representing you as a practitioner or an enthusiast or a learner? Enthusiast, you won't get called. A learner, you won't get called. A practitioner, yes, you will most likely get called. So we're talking today on how exactly you can make your CV reflect your skills as a practitioner, not reflect your skill as a learner, not reflect your skills as an enthusiast. And what are the career paths we're currently focusing on at Amdari? That was why I asked the question earlier, and I'm so glad that everybody falls within this career path, except Zaidat, who is interested in nursing. Sadly, we don't have any nursing program at Amdari. We only focus on tech career paths. So like I said, everyone else is either a project manager trying to get a job as a project manager or a data analyst trying to get a job as a data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, business analyst, SOC and threat intelligence analyst, GRC, that's Chiamaka, who says she's trying to get a job as a GRC analyst. And then I have cloud and app security, as well as, I believe I mentioned project management already. So I have seen my people, the people who said, oh, I'm trying to get a job in this career path, because that is the beauty of the conversation. You've already taken the first step, right? But if you've not taken the first step, it is not bad. This is just your wake-up call. This is your cue to go take that first step. Now, I would like to know those people who are yet to take that first step. So give me a thumbs up if you are yet to take any course in the career path I have listed here. You are yet to take a course. I promise you the conversation still concerns you. So please stick around, because Omowumi said, oh, are people who have taken a course does not mean you are also not my person. So if you are yet to take a course, give me thumbs up. If I don't see thumbs up, I want to believe and assume that everybody falls in the category of those that are taking a course. Okay, Uthman Ibrahim, thank you. Deborah is here to take a course also. Mosumola is here to take a course. Sad. But guess what? I will be sharing. This journey is not unnecessarily long when trying to get a job. All right, thank you, Ashnat. So that your journey is not unnecessarily long in the process of trying to apply for a job. Thank you to Lumope. I see your hand also. So the essence is for you to not go through that stage of, oh, I applied, or sorry, I took a course, they promised me a job, I didn't get a job, it's been 1 year, it's been 5 months, and all of that. This is so that your story is not like this. This is so that your story is the one where you got your desired result fast and early. And guess what I'm talking about? The one where you take a course, you start executing very fast, and you get the desired result, because now you are a practitioner. I became a practitioner within just, let me say, 6 months of actually getting introduced to software development and taking a course and practicing. Everything 6 months. What do I mean? I used 2 months to take a course. Then I immediately enrolled for an internship program. Immediately, just 2 months. I used 2 months to just watch videos, use the virtual environment for writing my codes, blah, 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 everything 2 months. I immediately enrolled for internship. 4 months into my internship, I got a job, my first tech job. So if you add that 2 months of me learning and that 4 months of me doing internship, everything is 6 months. Now, within 6 months, I got that job. And guess what? I worked with them for just 7 months. That's the job I got. I worked with them for 7 months and they sponsored my relocation. So if you look at that journey, that's 1 year, 13 months. What am I trying to say? Imagine your journey to getting sponsored in the UK is within 1 year or less, because it's possible. What I'm trying to say is don't take a course and just leave it at that, or don't take a course for just long and believe that's all you need. Please practice. Get your hands on projects that solve commercial problems, projects that have commercial value. That is what would make your CV represent you as a practitioner, and that is what we're discussing today. All right. Oh, Mosmola says, I think I misled you by using the thumbs up. I've taken several courses. Beautiful. Thank you for that clarity. I love that. Thank you. So that's fine. That's awesome. Okay. So out of every 10 Amdari interns, we have about 5 who land tech jobs within 3 months. So our success rate is about 2 to 3 months of our interns getting results. All right. And we also have about 3 of them in the pipeline who are yet to get jobs. All right. This is the success rate, but they are actively in the pipeline applying to jobs, and they get to like the second stage or final stage of the interview. And the 2 who keep applying, and there is strong positioning because now their CV is not a CV that doesn't look like someone who knows what they're doing. Their CV now looks like that of a person who has worked, practiced within UK for a UK brand, solved commercial problems. So their positioning is strong. It just might be that their time is not 2 months into the internship or 4 months into the internship. Or on average, we have 5 people out of 10 that get jobs within 2 to 3 months of joining the program. So the result is fast. Like I said earlier, you are coming here to get the work done. So it's not magic I'll be preaching. No, it's just actual implementation that gives the right result. All right. And the average salary of our interns after the program is about 50K, and over 100% of them have portfolio that shows commercial value, not personal projects, not capstone projects, not random projects, but actual projects that show commercial value. And 87% of them show or say that Amdari is actually that thing that made a major mark for the application. One of them is Abisoye Oyebode. You can look him up on LinkedIn. He interned with Amdari March, or rather September last year. He was done in March. Can you see this on my screen? And he got a job in March 2026. This screenshot is from his LinkedIn profile that I picked. And this is the beauty of the work experience. He interned with us as a SOC analyst, Security Operations Center analyst, under cybersecurity. And he got a job as a cybersecurity specialist with Royal Devon University Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust. Full-time role, March 2026. All right, that's the beauty. And the location is Devon, England, London. That's the beauty of this work experience. The result is amazing. You just have to be willing to get the work done. And I am not going to be talking about problems on this call, but the thing that is blocking you and the perfect solution, the type that helped Oyebode to land a job within the space of about 6 months of doing his internship with Amdari. Now, I mentioned earlier that I'm speaking from the perspective of not just somebody who has been a candidate, but somebody who has also recruited in the last 3 years. The same thing applies to other co-founders of Amdari, who I'll introduce briefly because of time. Ifemena Ipro, he relocated to the UK on study visa, was done with his master's program. He graduated while on PSW visa. He did something. He started gaining professional experience as a data analyst in the UK, because in the period of his PSW visa, he was working in a warehouse. His Nigerian experience wasn't relevant, right? So he needed to build expertise and experience within the UK client, and that was one thing that helped him. So long story short, within his PSW period, he got sponsored to work as a business intelligence analyst. And he has gone on to work with organizations like the Post Office in the UK, TISA UK, Teleflex Ireland. He worked with DPD Ireland also, and he has worked in the capacity of a data analytics manager, a global business systems manager, or rather analyst, and also management and data analytics consultant in locations like UK, US, and Canada. And he is currently based in Canada, right? So he relocated to Canada from the UK. And then I have Adeza Suleiman. Last but not the least, the other co-founder of Amdari, an amazing tech expert who has impacted over 2,000 professionals across the UK to gain experience. We have quite a number of them that have landed NHS jobs that came, of course, with sponsorship. Now, Adeza also, just similar as what I said about Ifemena, relocated on study visa, gained experience working within the UK because experience from Nigeria wasn't going to get him through, the door. So he needed to build capacity while on his PSW visa, and he built that confidence and competence that made sense to the recruiters. And he has gone on to, work as a data science consultant in the UK, worked as a data analyst, business performance professional, and also data analytics consultant with FITC. And his experience spans across financial services, edtech, in energy, and also sport and automobile. And he's currently based in Canada also. Left the UK, relocated to Canada. Now, let's talk about, Zilpa says, hi, I completed my BA training with analytics in September 2025, but couldn't join the intern then. Please, I would like to enroll for Amdari internship. Beautiful, amazing. So Zilpa, please fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping in the chat, because we will be reaching out to you. That's if you don't enroll on the call today. But if you're enrolling on the call today, that is perfect, because I would show you exactly how to enroll. But regardless, please, I will like everyone on the call to fill the attendance form that my colleague is dropping, because I will share the slide from this session with you. The slide has a lot of tips that would make application easy for you. I'll also be sharing a particular tool that makes job application fast and smart. You see the stress that comes with applying, the one that means, oh, you have to tailor your CV to every job application. Oh, you have to take a look at which company is sponsoring, go check the register of licensed sponsors, come back to the job board, start applying, compare your CV with the job application, see if it matches, what keyword is missing, blah, blah, blah. That is everything I will be addressing on the call today. So I promise you this session is not going to be a waste of your time. It's going to be an impactful session, one that really helps you understand how to solve your problem. And honestly, when it comes to knowledge sharing, exactly, Taiwo. So that nightmare, I will be sharing a tool that makes it very easy for you to just get rid of that thing. Because I promise you, when it comes to the journey of applying to jobs or being professionals, there are things that we dread, things that we know we have to do, but it's not exactly fun, right? It's not something we enjoy. So if there are information, resources, or tools that makes life easier, why don't we jump on it? You know what they say about applying smarter or doing or working smarter. That's the essence of this. And that's even the entire thing that Amdari itself represents. You doing this smarter, you being a job applicant that does it smarter, right? So I promise you, this is going to be straight to the point, and we will just talk about those blockers and how you can fix it. So please, because I would like to share the slide and also some links with you, and ensure you fill the form that my colleague is dropping in the chat. Okay, so let's get straight into the conversation. Why recruiters jump and pass some CVs? Remember, the ATS is the first point of contact for your CV. And when the ATS is scanning, it's scanning for a couple of things. But before we talk about the ATS, let's also take a look at how many seconds recruiters even have to glance through your CV. They have less than 10 seconds, right? That's because they are only taking a look at your CV in a zigzag manner. They are first taking a look at your name and job title. Then they are going to your company and current experience or your past experience. So it's just like this. They're not looking at the detail yet. They're just scanning through what is there, right? So you need to catch their attention at every point and at every stage. So your job title needs to match what exactly is on the hiring, is on the job board. So if I say that I'm hiring for a business analyst, and then your job title is saying that you're a business intelligence analyst, it's two different things, right? It is two different things. You need to be in alignment. And also because ATS is strictly looking at what the job title says, or the job vacancy and job description and the job title says, and what you have on your CV, it has to align, because ATS is not human. ATS it doesn't have empathy. It will not say, oh, well, it's kind of similar. No, So you don't want it to just flag your CV from the get-go and dump it and move on to the others. So you need to be in proper alignment. I would save you so much time and stress with a particular tool that I would share, which is where the actual live demo would come in. But this is just going to me doing like a summary first before I show you the demo. That's because I want you to match what I am saying with the demo that I would do so that it all makes sense. So it's not just words I'll be giving on the call today. I will show you exactly how this plays out. All right. And then when you take a look at the job application and you see that the sectors that they are hiring for is this sector, do you have experience in those sectors? Because your CV also needs to mention keywords that make sense to those sectors, because now that's what the ATS will be looking at. So first things first, you are applying to a job, but the company under your most recent experience is not even a UK company, and you're applying to a UK company right now. You might not really get, a high chance of competing from that ATS level. So the application loves it when your most recent experience is in alignment with what they want. So your experience says you worked with a UK company. Great. All right. And then your job title also needs to be in alignment with what UK experience needs. So if you have something like business analytics consultant, amazing. Not forgetting that, okay, aligning with the job title is also very important. Then when you look at the skills and competence section, the ATS, like I said, is going to be very strict. It doesn't have empathy, it's not human. So it's just comparing your CV with what was put on the job board. So you need to be in alignment so that when it is parsing it's passing and comparing, everything looks like, okay, yes, this is what we are looking for. But your CV is void of things that match what's on the job description. ATS is saying, this is not what we want. This doesn't speak to what we want. This doesn't align with what we want. So this is not who we want. So it doesn't pick you. So if you're applying to a VA role, for example, you want to have things like Jira, Agile, stakeholder management, VPN on your CV, those languages that need to stand out, that needs to also align with what the JD says. You want to have it there. You also want to have metrics, not just in, oh, I saved cost, I improved revenue. I always tell people, don't stop there. You want to add timeline. I can say that I helped a company achieve 50% revenue, but in how many years? 1 year, 5 months, 1 month, or 2 months? Timeline matters. If someone here comes here and applies to a job, let's say Olufolahan applies to a job in my company and tells me that he was able to help a company create and launch a landing page that helped marketing team increase sales by 50% in 2 months. And I have to look where that says, oh, I built a landing page that helped marketing increase sales by 50%. It's two different things. I don't know how long it took to look or how long the result took, but I'm hearing Olufolahan saying 2 months. I am interested as a founder, like, wow, 2 months, you got this kind of result. This is what I want on my team. Every company is built to make money. Yes, they are solving a problem, but they want to make money because remember, they are investing something in running that business. They are not running that business on credit or no money spent. They are running that business. Some of them even have gone ahead to collect funding from investors, whether angel investors or whatnot. Some of them, it's Series A, Series B, and all that. So they have to make money back. So if I am seeing that somebody like Olufolahan is telling me that he made 50% in revenue because of a particular landing page that he created, and they launched it in 3 weeks, and marketing had to start using it, and 2 months after creating that landing page, 50% was recorded in revenue increase, I would want to speak to Olufolahan. But Tolulope achieved the same result, but when? How long? What was the time frame? If it's 1 year, no, that's far, right? That's far. So you see the role of timeline. It can really help you. So that's why we tell people that we don't recognize that certain things we say really helps us. Certain things our CV carries really helps us. So positioning is the key word. And this is what we share during mentorship at Amdari. So the internship at Amdari is not just, oh, come and work gain experience. No, that's why the result is mind-blowing. It is come, work, gain experience, build competence, independent kind of competence, not the one where you have to rely on a team lead. And I'll tell you how that works because it's in stages. Your stage of growth at Amdari is in stages and you will see it practically. So when that happens, not a lot of people know how to sell themselves. So how do you sell?
Hi, mommy. Hi, mommy. Can you hear me? Hi, mommy. We can't hear you. All right. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. All right. All right. All right. Please let's just give mommy a few seconds to join us back. Most likely she had some network issues. Thank you. Let's just give her a few minutes. All right, so I just reached out to Omomi and she said she'll be joining us back shortly. She'll be joining us back shortly. Please give me a thumbs up if you got that. Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you, Asknad Onyeka. Thank you. I hope I got the pronunciation of your name. Thank you. Thank you. So let's just wait for a couple more minutes. Let's wait a couple more minutes. Thank you.
Hi everyone, so sorry for that break in transmission. Please confirm you can hear me. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much.
Hi,
So
mommy.
yeah, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so my Chrome froze and I had to restart my system. So that's actually why I was dropped off the call, but I'm back now and I had to join quickly on a different device. So I can't share my screen yet. So in the next 1 minute, my screen will be back up. But I think I'll just continue as I wait for my screen to be up again. Thank you so much for your patience. So, yeah, so what I was talking about earlier was the positioning and how the little things that we think don't matter or that we're not aware that is very important actually goes a long way in helping us get that call for interview. So saying that, oh, I was able to help a business or a company get 50% in revenue in 2 months, it's not the same thing as saying I was able to get a business get 50%, because that person who added a timeline is showing like more efficiency, right? And every company, because they are revenue driven and they want to grow as a business, they want to be able to expand, they will be interested in that person that shows them results faster. So this is all tied to results. This is all tied to timeline. And commercial relevance is important. There are some things you won't have on your CV or you won't be able to say if you have not really built experience and competence. All right. And because that depth will be missing in your interview, in your conversation, and also on your CV, they can tell that you really have not built commercial relevance. And it's that commercial relevance that makes them interested in you, that makes them want to work with you. I know I believe we're all familiar with the fact that companies want to work with people that are looking like hot cake, like, oh, this person is so good. Everybody wants to have the best candidates on their team. And founders putting out vacancies and saying, oh, we're hiring, is specifically because they can't solve the problem alone. So if they are hiring, you are meant to apply as somebody who can help. Because remember, that job you see on the job board exists because a problem exists within the company. It did not just appear because, oh, it is fancy and it would be nice to have a business analyst. It would be nice to have a project manager. No, it's not because it would be nice to have a project manager. It's because they need a project manager. Why would they need a project manager? Oh, maybe the system is inefficient. Maybe the company is growing and they need extra support, right? So what I'm trying to say here is a problem was first identified, and that birthed this role that you see on the job board. So that role on the job board is not existing because, oh, Amdari would like to have a business analyst on the team because it would be nice to have a business analyst on the team because, oh, it would help us get more funding. No, it doesn't happen or work that way. So I'll share my screen right now because I'm joining back on my laptop so you can now, and then I'll put on my video also. Thank you so much for your patience, like I said. And just a minute, I would also be able to get to our demo in few minutes. So just a minute, just a minute. I'm still with you. Okay. So it's starting my video, that's why it's taking time. But I think I'll just continue from where we stopped because the other one is the education and certification. Yes, it's important to add that you've gained knowledge from here, from there, and that would just add to your that'll just give you an edge. Let me put it that way. But I tell people professional certificates, they are nice to have, not must haves.
Hi, mommy. Are you there? Hi, mommy. I can see you on the call. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I'm here. Yeah. I'm actually here. So again, I tried to join with my laptop, but then it just froze the screen. But I'm still on my laptop and I'll join back right now. So I think it's loading again. I don't know why Chrome is slow for me today. but I think I'll be back shortly on it. So just let me continue while I wait for my video to start. I think I'll just stay on this phone while my video comes back on the desktop so that I don't keep going quiet in between. So education, and let me speak to certification. It's a nice to have, not a must have. So if you have education on your, or certification rather, on your CV, yes, it gives you an edge. But what is prioritized is what you can do. And that is also the place of your, that is also the place of your portfolio being added. All right, so we're back now. Thank you so much for your patience. So I'll share my screen right now and we will go back to where we were. So please confirm you can see my screen already, or okay, it's not up yet. All right, just go here. So once you can see my screen, just indicate with a thumbs up. It's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. Just indicate with a thumbs up once you can see the screen. Is it up on your end? Beautiful. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Okay, so yes, your portfolio link needs to be added to your CV because I said earlier, your CV represents you in the room first before they meet you. So every opportunity you have to win them over, from the ATS to the recruiter, you want to have it all there because they would be curious. And when they are curious, they want to get to know more. And when your CV and your portfolio speaks and fits to that curiosity, they will reach out to you, right, to get you on the call for an interview and also speak to you more. So let's take a look at the ATS. After this, we will do that, like the live revamp that I talked about, and we'll be done with that in like 10 minutes, and you would be able to see exactly how you can also use that platform. Okay. So, and for people on the call today, I will be giving you free access for the next couple of days. But for you to be able to have free access for longer period, then you'd have to be one of the interns at Andari. Okay. So, what does the algorithm really look at? What does it kill? Now, let's take a look at how the algorithm, that's ATS, is scoring your CV. First, it's your keyword density match. Your CV needs to match exactly what the ATS, or rather what the job board has listed, right? If you're applying to the role of a project manager and they are listing that they need somebody that can do this, do that, do this, do that, they list proficiency in XYZ tools, they say they need experience, they need somebody with experience doing this, doing that, and your CV is void of all of this, then you would find it very difficult to be able to match the expectation. And ATS, once again, is not human. It is going to strictly abide by keyword. So your CV has to be ATS compliant. If it's ATS compliant, or when it is ATS compliant, it is easy for your CV to be shortlisted for an interview. So don't just keep it random. Don't just use your generic CV. That's why I said, yes, it's stressful to tailor your CV to different job applications every time, but you just have to do it. And to do it, you might force yourself, when you can actually apply to 10 roles, you're applying to 2, 3, because you're busy, you're working or you're schooling. So you're really busy, but yes, they said tailoring your CV is important. So you're really doing that, but you are not doing it as much as you should. You're not doing it, you're not applying to 20 jobs because it's exhausting to tailor your CV to 20 jobs. That is why this tool I would share with you today is a game changer for you. It makes you achieve your goal of applying to multiple roles in a day, in 2 days, beyond your 5 targets, beyond your 10 targets. You can do like 15, you can do like 20, you can do like 30, because it makes life super easy. All right. And this is not magic, it's just a smarter way to apply. And when I say out of 10 interns at Amdari, 5 planned jobs, it's because of all of these strategies. And we would hear from one of our interns who got a job in 2 months. So I'll play her video for just 1 minute and we would hear directly from her. All right, so let's hear from Chineye for just 1 minute, not 2 minutes, on how the internship really helped her. And I said earlier, it's the job application strategy and your positioning, not anything extra. So let's listen to her for just 2 minutes, for just 1 minute. Are you done with your internship or you're still in the program?
I'm still in the process, interestingly.
Wow.
So we're just
Wow.
2 months
What
in.
months? 2 months
No, we are
in.
now in month 3. So yeah. So I got the job
So you got
almost
the
like
job
end of
when you
month
were
2.
about 2 months in.
Yeah, just about 2 months
Wow, at
in
the
was
end
when
of
I got the
month.
job. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow, that was pretty fast. Who would have
It
thought?
was really fast. That was my
That
first,
was really
trust me,
fast.
that was my first project management interview and I got the job.
Wow. Are you
That was
serious?
the
Wow.
first and the only interview that I did and I got the
And you
job.
got the job.
Yes, I
Wow. And
hadn't
that's
done
just
any.
2 months
I wasn't
in.
applying before I came into Amdari. I wasn't applying because I felt like, oh, I'm not ready. Well,
Yeah.
Amdari gave me that confidence to apply for the job, and the knowledge and the skills and the experience I took into that interview really helped me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Chineye. All right. So let me stop you right there. Please give me thumbs up if you heard everything Chineye said. Can I see your thumbs up? Can I see your thumbs up? Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chandwara. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, she said something. She wasn't applying until Amudalat says she can't hear me. I believe everyone else can because I can see their thumbs up. So Jennifer, please type it in the chat for her to drop off and join back. So because it's her network. Yeah, so just type it in the chat for her to join in and join back. Or log out and log in back again. I think it's her network. Okay, so one thing that Chineye said was that she wasn't applying because she didn't feel ready. She applied after she started the internship, 2 months in, and she got the job. Now she got the job because the strategy is different. It's smarter. And she has actual proof of work, right? And sometimes some people's confidence might be affected from, I'm not sure I know the answer to this. And bear in mind, you are not meant to prepare for an interview. You are meant to prepare for a job, for the job, not even a job. Do not prepare for the interview. Prepare for the job. Because when you prepare for the job, you are not memorizing answers. You understand problem and you have the real results to show how you can also replicate it for them here. All right. But when you apply for the job only, just a minute, please. I think my camera went off. I'll fix that shortly. So when you apply for the job only, what that simply means, or rather when you prepare for the interview, what that simply means is you are not positioning well enough to get the job because your answers are memorized. If a single question is asked from your memorized answer, you can easily get thrown off balance because, oh, you only practiced this response this way. But because you've really done it, because you've been in the system, you have practiced, there is no follow-up question that you won't have an answer to. You don't need to rehearse that because you prepared for the job. You prepared for the job through practice, through experience, through exposure. So you would have instances to give narration from. It's not going to be made up. So that's why this helps a lot. And you also need to make sure that just the section header, the ATS recognizes it and it's in alignment with what the ATS is programmed to recognize. The ATS is a machine, not human. It was programmed to recognize certain things. So do you have work experience? Do you have skills, right? Don't just write career summary. Don't write things like that. It doesn't recognize career summary. It recognizes work experience. That is what it recognizes, okay? That's exactly what you also need to have on your CV. So don't just wing things. The ATS was programmed to understand certain things. So your CV must be in compliance with that. And then your job title. If they're saying business analyst role and you say business systems analyst, it is partial. And it is a platform that has multiple applications. When it is prioritizing, will it prioritize yours? Or will it say partially, yes, you work? And by the time it is done looking at people that properly align, will you still be shortlisted? So you have to be in alignment with what the ATS is scanning for, right? And then your file format, because the ATS cannot pass every kind of format, your CV needs to be in plain text or single column. You see all those tables and multiple columns and everything like that, it doesn't recognize it because it's a machine and it cannot pass anything that is beyond text and a single column format. And your CV also has to be in PDF. All right. So it makes it very easy. Yes, I'll show us the tool in real time right now. I'll show us the tool. So we've listened to Chineye and how she applied in a short period of time. Now let's take a look at how you can transform your CV live. I mentioned earlier, your CV needs to speak to achievement and it needs to tie timeline to it because timeline plus achievement makes a lot of commercial sense to recruiters. It makes a lot of value-driven sense to recruiters. Don't do metrics of, oh, I saved costs without talking about timeline. Don't talk about metric of, I worked with my team to launch a project and we launched it. We had 5 stakeholders. I was able to get them on my side, even though there was scope creep. We're able to prioritize. Don't speak vague language. I love to call it the hedging language. Do not speak that because it is vague. It is not. It softens the impact that you most likely have made. You don't want anything to soften that. And when people use it, it's because there is nothing more to actually break down to. So they use it that way. But when you know, in fact, that you've made real impact, there is real result, you will break it down. So when you're talking metrics, tie timeline to it. Let them see exactly how you have solved problems before. All right. And make sure that when you talk about stakeholders, let us know their job title, the weight of their say in the project or the work that you do. And not just the weight of their say, but it also shows your robust exposure. I had a live interview with somebody. It was like a simulation. We had it on one of the Saturdays here on the call. And I asked this person, she was so smart, very intelligent. But remember that recruiters are on that seat because they are also smart and intelligent. And they know exactly what they are looking for. Now, I could see that this lady is very, very confident, but I could tell she does not have experience. Now, she doesn't have experience yet. Does it mean I should rule her out and cancel her? Not necessarily, right? But I need her to convince me further that I can take this chance. So I asked her a question because she went on and on saying that, oh, I'm a self-starter, I'm proactive. I could tell from how she was also breaking things down that she most likely is not lying about this description of herself. But for you to really say you're a self-starter and for it to work in a self-paced environment, right? I need to also know that truly you have those skills that can back up that claim of being a self-starter. So I asked her the team she had worked with. So you talking about your team or stakeholder is important. So I asked her the team she had worked with. And I said, have you worked with teams before? She said, yes. I said, can you tell me their job title? All of the job titles she mentioned does not relate to who a business analyst will work with. So you see that self-starter statement she made, or rather, it is defeated now by the fact that she has not worked with the right team. And that was how I know that I cannot proceed with this person. Everything else she said, amazing. Smart, yes, check. Communication, check. Everything else, check. But she will be micromanaged, I promise you. She will be told the first step. So it defeats her claim of being a self-starter because she will now, and I said earlier, a company has that job title on the job board because there is a problem. It can be inefficiency, it can be the team needs support. Imagine the reason why we need a business analyst in my company. Now, me breaking it down, not making it sound vague. Imagine the reason why we need a business analyst is because the company needs support. Our system is inefficient. We can't make sense of data, or we don't even know how to use data, or we don't know the business objectives to prioritize, and we need somebody that works within that capacity. And the name that comes to mind is a business analyst, the one that can also be the middle person between product, that's digital product, and stakeholders or management. Now you are applying and you're saying all of these amazing things about yourself. But I asked the first question to know, okay, if I want to work with you, I want to know the team you've worked with before. Because if you're going to carry this team, because one of the job descriptions or the responsibilities rather of this role is you carry the team, you lead the team. You let us know exactly what we need to prioritize, what we need to focus on. If you're coming in and we need to tell you the first step, second step, then it defeats why we are hiring for this role. You are coming to add to the problem. Oh, the system is inefficient. We're hiring somebody that will take longer because she needs to figure things out on the job. She will not be able to give productive results in month 1. That doesn't work for me. She will not be able to start leading in the capacity she should, because apparently I would need to show her step 1. Oh, you're meant to work like this with productive. Oh, you're meant to do this. So it defeats all of that. So somebody like her can get a job faster if she builds experience with a platform like Amdari. So she already has that starter. She already worked with that team that she needs, because the internship at Amdari is not going to be you working alone or in isolation. You will be working with people and in teams. So you are able to build that competence around the team you should be aware of, the team you should know how to work with. The exposure, the depth of knowledge would also, come from all of this. And that's exactly how this works. Okay, so let's take a look at how you can revamp your CV. But what is the most important thing that your CV needs to reflect, right? Yes, we're getting there now. So you need to run your CV through an ATS checker. We will do that right now. I would run a CV through an ATS checker, and then, I would have loved to get somebody's CV on this call. I would have loved to get somebody's CV. So if you're on one of our communities, right, please, yes. So Marcus, Adela, we're going to drop our link in the chat right now. Yes, I'm going to use somebody's CV. So I'm going to drop, not link. Jennifer, please drop your WhatsApp number. Adela, I would like you to send your CV, or let me say fastest finger, the first CV I get, right? So Jennifer is going to forward the first CV to me. So if it's Adela's CV, if it's Ikechuku's CV, or if it's the size CV we get first. So please, Jennifer, drop your WhatsApp number. She's going to drop it now. Send your CV to Jennifer, and I am going to use your CV to do the comparison. I was going to use my CV before, but let me use your CV. Let's compare your CV to a job application that is already on the job board. I would be going to NHS jobs or civil service jobs, or I will be going to what's the other one called? Civil service or read.co.uk. So please send your CV to the number that is here. Jennifer is going to send the CV to me, and that is the CV that I will use for this demonstration. So I'm going to run your CV through an ATS checker, and we will see if it aligns with the JD using this tool, which is called cvmatchly.ai. I know that Ikechukwu, or rather Ikechukwu, has been impatient about the tool, please. So the tool name is what I will type for you right now in the chat. It is called cvmatchly.ai. That is the tool name, and that's the tool I'll be using to do the comparison of your CV. So we're also going to rewrite your profile summary with this CV, role domain, and also metrics. Everything will properly align. All right. What our interns typically do, because they don't have experience prior to interacting with us, their most recent experience reflects a UK company, Amdari. It reflects businesses they've impacted, UK companies, US companies, and Canada companies. It also reflects the job title in a way that makes sense to recruiters. It doesn't say intern. So if Tolulope, for example, applies, it wouldn't say Adebowale Tolulope, data analytics intern at Amdari. No, it would say data analytics consultant at Amdari. And it will break down all of the impacts you have made, the way I described it. That makes it easy for you to stand out. All right, that's what it would show. And that's exactly how you get shortlisted. So you pass the ATS scanning and everything, and the recruiters want to speak to you because now your CV reflects exactly what is expected. So I'm still waiting for the CV to be sent. But while I wait for that, let's listen to Pedro for 2 minutes. He was one of the interns at Amdari whose CV was revamped. He would share all of this in 2 minutes, and he got a visa sponsorship role. All right, so let's listen to Pedro for just 2 minutes. Please, if there is no audio on the video, kindly call my attention to it. By the time he is done, I would have gotten the CV I need, and I was going to use my CV before, but I would like to use your CV instead. So let's do that. So let's listen to Pedro for 2 minutes, and I will be back sharing my screen and going to CV matching. Thanks so much, Pedro, for doing this with us. And congratulations on landing the cybersecurity role. Is it SOC or what's the job title?
It's OT security specialist, but more of OT security. So it's cybersecurity, but in operations technology.
Amazing. And it came with visa sponsorship, correct?
Yes. Role.
Yeah. Let me blow some confetti, imaginary confetti. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right. So I would like to know how your experience, right, the work experience at Amdari helped you go from being a job seeker to becoming job ready, right? From the mentorship to the project. How did the work experience help you go from being a job seeker to being job ready?
Okay, so for starters, in my IT career, I've been more of a lone wolf. I like to study on my own, do my certifications, but moving to the UK, I realized that I had to change. I knew I needed some form of mentorship, and that's how I stumbled into Amdari. And yes, the program helped. It provided some guided mentorship that helped me determine the road that was suitable for me and how to navigate to the next chapter. I was already in employment, but I knew I needed to pivot. And yes, the Amdari experience was very important, and it contributed to me landing this new role.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much, Pedro. So what specific aspect of this internship would you say helped you ace your interview?
Okay. For starters, Amdari helped. They have several services. And I think the very first one I opted for was the CV rebuild. That is very, very important. And after the session, my CV got a lot better. I knew I was getting a lot more interviews, but I was really picky about the companies I wanted to join. So the CV rebuild was very, very good. And when I did get called for this interview, they also helped with interview preparation sessions. That was very good. That's put me in the right place to predict questions that were going to be asked, and that really helped to land the role. Then the experience with Amdari was amazing. I was in the SOC analysts cohort. We dabbled into several projects ranging from SIM analysis, we're building VMs and doing malware analysis. And yes, I mentioned that during my interview, and yes, it really did help.
Okay, awesome. Cute and beautiful. So as we all know, right, a lot of okay. So that is all from Pedro's end. And like I said while speaking, we're coming to the live demo. But one of the things that Pedro said was the fact that his CV was revamped, his LinkedIn was optimized, as well as the interview prep session that he got at Amdari. Now, I've gotten CVs sent to me, and I'll be using the first one that I got, which is from Okechukwu. I got Pratik CV next. All right, so if time permits, I might also use that of Pratik, but I would start with Okechukwu CV. So I'm going to share my entire screen right about now, and we will take a look at exactly. I see that your CV, Okechukwu, is for a business analyst role. So we're going to be using that, comparing your CV and seeing exactly what you score. I would also use that of Pratik if time permits. So let me come here to just a minute. So I'm going to share my entire screen so that we're able to see everything end to end. But like I said, please, if you'd like to receive the recording to this session, fill the attendance form that my colleague is sharing, okay? And we would send you the video recording, the slide from this session also. All of that will be shared with you. So please do not forget to fill that attendance form. Okay, so now we're here. You can use this tool on any job board. What tool am I talking about? CV Matchly, which I mentioned at the start of this. And I said that CV Matchly is an AI tool that you can use to apply to jobs. It helps you tailor your CV to different job applications. And as it tailors your CV to different job applications, it saves you the stress of also having to know if the company is sponsoring or not, or doing the whole LinkedIn Boolean search. It is all a long process. So this is a faster process. It revamps your CV right on the platform. You don't need to copy paste, go here, come back. You don't need all of that, and you will see that live in action. How do you get started with CV matching? You create an account. By virtue of being on the call with me today, I'm going to give you few days free access, but after the few days free access, it is going to close. Okay, so I'm dropping it. That's the link. All right. So please, if you'd like to have 2 months free access, then you would need to enroll for the internship at Amdari. But my gift to you on the call today is free credits on CV matching. You have free credits and you can use it for free for the next couple of days. So that's the link you can use. But please just follow the demo so you can just try it out after we're done with the session. So you create an account on CV matching like any other platform. It's going to tell you right here at the top, once you're done creating your account, that you should add CV matching to your Chrome extension. Once you add it, it is going to be here. Can you see my own? So I have pinned it, and that is why it is right here. That's why it is right here. Now I have to remove my own CV because I want to use Okechukwu CV. So you see that it says click to upload CV here. When we're done with the session, you can also do this. And that's why I said, if you want to receive the recording, in case you miss a step, please fill the form so that my colleague can send the form to you. And if you have other questions, now you have Jennifer's number. I can still reach out to you at a much later time. But yeah, fill the form. It's very important. So right here, you would see that you can add your CV. But let's not add CV yet. Let's come to a job board. Let's come to let's come to NHS jobs. And let's select one career path, business analysis, because the CV I'll be using first is that of a business analyst. If time permits, I would use Pratik's CV also. So let's search for business analyst role in the UK. And now we have 3,000 plus jobs for this role. So you can scroll and scroll and scroll and see the different business analyst roles that we have. So let's select one random business analyst role. Let's select business information analyst. This is a business analyst role. Different companies will give it different job titles. I worked in a company as a project manager. Guess my job title, web project manager. Another company called it IT project manager. So it is going to be based on the company and the actual problem they are solving, or that your role is meant to come in to solve. My job title was called web project manager because I was going to focus specifically on building web applications, right? And I would be working with the development team to do that. Another company that I applied to, same job title, or rather no, same job description, roles, responsibility, but they called it product manager. Same job title in another company, but they called it IT project manager. So bear in mind that what they expect you to do is the reason, or it's what informs the job title. So the product manager role I did in another company was for mobile apps, that was why they called it that. And because for them, it wasn't a client kind of thing, it was mobile app for the company. So that's why your CV, so I can't use my product manager CV to get that web app project manager role. No, it's not possible. I needed the same skill. I needed the same knowledge, but my role and responsibility was different. So do I have experience working as a web project manager? Because here I will be handling different clients' products or projects, right? Web apps. I'll be handling that of different clients, working with different web developers, Indians, Nigerians, different locations. So that's why it is different. But yes, I needed the same skill, but the scale at which each of these roles will perform is different, because why company A needed a web project manager, it's not the same reason as to why company B needed me for a product manager. That's what is here. So my CV was not the same for both applications. So let's go to business information analyst role. And it's for this healthcare company, Omnes Healthcare Limited. So we're here now, and I have selected the job. All right, I have selected the job. The next step is to apply. This is the point you invoke CV matching. Let me use that word. This is the point you invoke CV matching. By clicking on this, you invoke CV matching when it is time to click apply. So before you take that step to apply, you want to invoke CV matching. If I go back, you can see that now we have job descriptions, right? It is all here. Now, if I go back, before I select this job and I click on CV matching, there will be nothing under job description, because there is nothing it is going to match your CV to, because I have not selected any job. Now, when I select an actual job, it has something to match my CV with. So that's why if I now click, it shows me job descriptions, because it has extracted this exact job description. It has extracted everything, the job summary. It has extracted everything, including the responsibilities, to its own database, to its own interface. Let me use that word, interface. It has extracted it to its own interface. Now it can work with this information from within its own capacity. So the beautiful thing about CV Matchly is it also helps you know if the role is sponsoring. Now let's click on upload CV, because now I need to match the CV, all right? So let's click on CV Matchly. So this is OK CV right here, business analyst. So it is going to compare. You can see it is analyzing your CV. It is analyzing your CV so it can compare it to this particular application. So when it's done, it is going to give us the score. So we know if OK CV is a perfect fit for this role or not. You see, it says it's a business information manager, operations director. And I tell people a business analyst role is like a COO or operations manager. Now you see that OK CV is 35% match for this job application. And guess what? We can also tell if the company is sponsoring. And yes, they are sponsoring. This is it. See sponsorship analysis, skilled worker routes. And yes, it is under the shortage list also. That's the job you're applying to. And the salary is above threshold. This tool saves you the stress of going to a job application to go apply. And that whole stress is just crazy. All right, to check if the company is sponsoring, to come back, oh, this, okay, now we can see that these are the keywords missing in OKCV. Keywords like that, TSQL, PostgreSQL, Airflow, Azure Data Solution, NHS reporting, systems. These are skills he needs to have, and they need to reflect on his CV. That's why the internship at Amdari covers not just, oh, you being a business analyst. You would work on 5 to 6 projects. Each project would cover the most important industries that each career path is hiring for. What do I mean? You're applying as a business analyst. You'd work on projects in NHS because NHS hires big for business analyst roles. You'd work on projects in financial services or fintech. All right. You'd work on projects in FMCG. You work on projects across industries that are hiring the most. So there is no way you will not have these keywords on your CV. So this tool now has said, your CV is not in alignment with this application. So does OK need to now say, okay, let me copy these keywords and go and paste it on my CV and come back and apply? No, he doesn't have to do that. What does he have to do? Again, we know the company sponsors. He does not have to use LinkedIn Bullion. He does not have to go to gov.co.uk to download the list of, or a registered list of licensed sponsors and then start checking. Now you now have to start checking Omnes Healthcare Limited. Copy it, go to search, you have exported or extracted the sheet. All of that is a lot. Just look at it. And it's because I'm explaining. If I wasn't explaining, OK will be done in 2 minutes. It's because I'm explaining the process here. That's why we're still on this. If I'm not explaining, OK will be done with his application and revamping in 2 minutes. He will be able to apply to 20 jobs in a day. And he's not applying as somebody who doesn't have the skill. Amdari has built him. Like I said, we build you to get the job, not to prepare for the interview. We make you prepare for the job, not the interview. So there is no way you know it's the interview. So let's click on Optimize CV. You don't need to copy this and go paste on your CV. Just click Optimize. Once you click on Optimize, it brings you here. Do you need to copy and paste this description? No. Click on Generate Optimized CV. It is going to revamp OK CV, and OK, I would send your CV to you after this call, it will be forwarded to Jennifer so that you can use that CV moving forward. So this CV is going to be optimized to perfectly suit this. But because OK is not going to be applying to only this job, right? This is us tailoring your CV. So OK still needs more access. He needs to have access to CV Matchly so that he can use it for the other jobs you saw. You know, we saw different jobs, right? I just selected this one randomly. He needs to be able to use it to apply to the other jobs. So if OK needs that, then it means it needs this platform. And I said, just by being on the call with me today, I am giving you this free access to use CV Matchly. I have free credits on the platform for you to use. Please ensure you apply to jobs. I think you have like 20 credits. So you can use it to apply to about 20 jobs or thereabouts. I can't remember how many credits. So we are in partnership with CV Matchly, right? But you need this for more than just 20 credits. And that's why we give you 2 free months access as an intern in Amdari. So what do you do now? Click on download optimized CV. It has downloaded OK's optimized CV and it is right here. Now his CV is properly from his technical skills to his core skills and the format that this CV is in. It is no longer going to be in a format that will not be able to be passed by the ATS. It is in a simple text format that is readable for the ATS. And now I will share this with you so it's easy for you to upload and use in applying to jobs. That's exactly how this CV helps you apply to jobs and revamps your CV. So I would need you to, like I said, you can create accounts so you can have free access. So because I still need to take your questions, but Pratik, it doesn't matter. Even if I don't get to share your CV, I already said you would have free access. Follow this step. You'll have this free access. Follow this step I have shared and use it in applying. You would see the results of your CV. It's everything I showed you on the call today. You can also do that on your end. All right. If you're just joining, because I see that we have more people that have just joined us. If you're just joining, I promise you, you've missed a lot, but I'll be sharing the recording of this session with you. Please fill the attendance that my colleague will drop, and you can easily have the recording. So you watch every other part that you have missed. All right. But thank you all for joining, and please stick around because we still have other things that I would. And I stopped sharing instead of sharing another part of my screen. So let me go to sharing my slide from before. Okay, so we will just wrap up in a few minutes and I will take a few questions. And if I can't take your question, you can definitely speak to me Mondays and Fridays throughout you can speak to me Mondays and Fridays, 1 p.m. My colleague is available for 8 p.m. And yes, I see questions in the chat. MS Series says, is Word or PDF format? It is PDF. Thank you, Jane. Jane already answered. So it's PDF format. Please don't use Word. Please do not use Word. The reason why you shouldn't use Word is some of these platforms, it's going to distort the content of your document. But if it's in PDF, it is stamped and sealed. Nothing can distort it. But even though it's PDF, you don't want to have tables and all of that. So Ashish, I would come to you shortly, okay? So even if it's PDF, you don't want to have tables, so it doesn't distort it, all right? So that is exactly how this works. So I see some questions from Mitch, from MSRE answered one. So yes, yes, Mitch, I would respond to your question shortly as we proceed, okay? So that's exactly how you fix your CV. So we have done all of this already using CV Matchly. You see how CV Matchly saved the day. So at Amdari, we would revamp your CV and give you the one that works across board. But you must tailor your CV to those jobs you see on the job board. So what Amdari is giving you is a revamped CV that works. And then Amdari now gives you another thing, which is CV Matchly, that makes it easy for you to now apply to jobs easily and fast. All right, so you're not just using that generic CV that we have created for your role. Now you're using the CV that is tailored. So we know that for you to get results, we cannot say, oh, this is your generic CV, Penny, use it to apply. Oh, Chidebere, use it to apply. We know the strategy that works. The strategy that works is you having your CV tailored to every job application. So we said, okay, what platform can we partner with? So we partnered with CV Matchly, and they gave our interns free access for 2 months. So for you to have access, I will show you, but because you're on the call with me, I'm giving you free credits to use CV Matchly. So you can just try it out and see. All right. Now, this is how we revamp your CV to sell you and pitch you as a cost saving. as somebody that has so much commercial value to bring to the table because you have that exposure already. So this is just summarizing everything I have said, and I would share my slide so you can look at this properly. All right, the steps, but I have kind of broken it down. I just don't want to repeat things I've said before, but it is me breaking it down so that when you have access to this slide, you don't forget, oh, what was it Omomi said? So I kind of broke it down step by step for you right here on this slide. So I said earlier, companies hire because the problem exists. Now you take a course, anything they teach you as a data analyst is convenient. Actual problem that exists in a company is a retail client sales board or sales dashboard that shows 4.2 million revenue, but finance team spreadsheet says 3.9. Data reconciliation needs to go in here, right? So you have different sources and you're meant to have one single source of truth for your data source, right? You're meant to have just one single source of truth. But this source is saying this, the other source is saying this. How do you carry out data reconciliation across systems, live systems? That is a skill you would build at Amdari, because this is the kind of skill recruiters test you for. Not, oh, you taking a course and you just have some cleaned CSV file or pre-cleaned CSV file. Everything you do in a course is very convenient. It is just the basic concept. Actual work that you do is beyond just that convenience. You would have issues with clients, issues with your team members. How do you? And it might be that your data also is just stressing you out for all of these different reasons. So understanding business context is a skill that you build when you work in a system. Stakeholder communication, under ambiguity, and also audit trail documentation. These are skills recruiters hire for. These are skills you learn while working on projects at Amdari. Where are the projects coming from? They will come from our project partners across the retail industry, because retail and e-commerce is hiring a lot for data analysts. Financial services, we have projects from here because we partnered with businesses from there. NHS and healthcare, another one. They hire big for data analysts. We have a lot of healthcare data analysts, healthcare business analysts. You will work on projects from these industries, at least one project. Insurance, at least one project from one of them. You would be working on 5 to 6 projects, like I said earlier. You'll also work on logistics projects and insurance projects. All right, one of our project partners is called Rates, their name spelled Rates. So we operate and partner with business. Amdari thrives on partnership, because for you to really build that kind of competence we want you to have, it is going to come not from simulation, but from actual interaction with real problems from organizations. That helps you build commercial value and commercial relevance, right? So let's take a look at the type that comes with being a data scientist. You would work on projects that would mean, like in an actual organization, you might have created a churn prediction that scored 92% accuracy in training. You built a model, you trained the model, you tested it, it scored 92% accuracy. So you all can make decisions based on this prediction that, oh, Penny has made with the model that she trained. Now, the business makes decisions based on that model that Penny has trained. But guess what? It drifts. The churn that was the problem is increasing. It keeps rising. So that means your prediction it drifted at some point. But in training, guess what is going to happen? You're going to be measuring your model based on some cargo accuracy. And you measure it once because you just create it and you go, right? I mean, your training is limited for a period of time. But in an actual work environment, that model you built is meant to be used to make decisions. So after it was used, was there a case where you were monitoring it? Because you would pick immediately that it's drifting. So my prediction might be inaccurate if we leave it and we work with it like this. So you are consistently carrying out that monitoring, and you can detect when your model is drifting and you can adjust it. Do you also have experience and exposure with feature engineering from raw business data? These are skills they hire for: model monitoring and drift detection. You don't build this from a course. Experiment design and A/B testing, very important skill for a data scientist. Communicating uncertainty or rather to non-technical stakeholders. And what are the industries hiring the most for data scientists? Fintech, retail, pharmaceuticals and life sciences, media and streaming platforms, as well as insurance. And guess what? We make sure you work on projects from at least one of these. So your 5 to 6 projects is going to be covering all of these industries. That's for a data scientist. Then for a project manager, scope creep happens. Your cost does not cover scope creep because where is the actual stakeholders you're working with? Where's the actual projects you're managing? Where's the actual team you're managing? It doesn't exist. So it's convenient. 1 + 1 in your cost is 2. But in real life, 1 + 1 can be -20. You are owing. 1 + 1 can be 50. It's not giving you the results you need. For you to get your 2, a lot has to go in. So you can't predict your outcome because there are factors. But during your course, you can predict outcomes because it is designed to be convenient. You are just taught the concept, not the problems, right? And the essence of you working anywhere is there is always something. There is something that is coming up. You're not done solving this problem. Another one has arisen. You're not done fixing this. Another one has arisen, right? So one thing that happens is a 12-week e-commerce platform. A 12-week e-commerce platform build is in 8 weeks. Now, 3 small additions here and there, like, oh, please just add this. They are very informal requests made by this stakeholder to that stakeholder to that stakeholder. And as all of these requests are coming, you're not necessarily, you just feel like, oh, it's tiny and all minor, but then it's impacting budget. It's affecting timeline. You feel like it's tiny, but it's already creeping in and it's extending your timeline. Now, you guys are 6 weeks behind. Trust me, those people bringing all those tiny additions, oh, add this, remove this, let's do that. They will not remember that all of that they are bringing in is going to be extending your timeline. So they will come back and tell you, why did you exceed timeline? So part of what you would learn is for you to align with teams without necessarily saying no in a way that is not professional. So you can easily let them know that you are prioritizing what is important. We have a timeline, we have a deadline. I know all of this you're bringing is quite important, but I need to prioritize. I will come to this when this is covered because what's the most important thing we need to go live with? We're prioritizing that. All right. So that's how you get to manage stakeholder expectation because they would forget that they are the ones bringing all those tiny bits. But if you're not experienced enough and you're just taking it yes, yes, yes to everything, so they say you are proactive. So they say, trust me, all of those yeses will affect and impact your timeline. So how you manage these kind of situations is important. Of course, will just teach you Prince2 theory. They will teach you Scrum theory. They will teach you Kanban theory. They will teach you all of those theories, but not how that can impact your work in real life. The real work, trust me, the problem you're solving is not just to come and carry out Scrum meetings and everything. There are underlying problems under that job role responsibility that you see. And that's where your skill comes in. How do you handle scope change and control processes, risk adjustments and scheduling? How do you handle it? Stakeholder management and also escalation. Your stories will tell the depth of your knowledge in this field. And that is exactly what happens. What are the top industries hiring for this? Consulting, financial services, NHS and healthcare, central government and infrastructure and construction. And I promise you, yes, Mitch, yes, it does. I see you asked a question around construction project management. Yeah. So one thing I can tell you is these are industries that we make sure you work on a project in because they are hiring and we want you to stand a chance to get the job. So quickly over business analysis, similar to what I'm saying, you have a system that should be fast, but it's slow, right? Oh, the developers understand it in this terminology, and then the stakeholders use another terminology. For developers, they understand sub 100 millimeters because you said the platform has to be fast. They are understanding that in technical terms. The stakeholder understands 10 seconds. Let it load in 10 seconds. That's what they understand, right? How do you communicate? You communicated to both of them, but then the project fails. A lot can go on. A lot can go wrong. Then you need to understand how to elicitate under ambiguity. You need to carry out gap analysis. You need to understand as-is process and to-be process. I asked a question the other time on methodologies that somebody would use for process mapping and all that. And this person, you say you're a business analyst and you don't understand that the first thing that you should also recognize as a business analyst, or part of what you should recognize, is the as-is and to-be process. Oh, it's existing this way, but this is what I would do to get it to this point because this is where it should be. That's the to-be. Right? So that's all of the things. Do you understand UAT? What are these acceptance criteria that you prioritize? You need to speak this language for them to be impressed. And these are things and skills that will help you build with the projects you work on. And this covers banking and insurance, the industries that your project will be from, central and local government, NHS and healthcare, retail, and also management consulting. All right. Those are the industries that we make sure you focus on. For SOC, I'm not sure I have anybody who is interested in SOC, but I know some people said cybersecurity, so they might fall under this. So the same thing, just so I don't take time. So the skills you need to understand are alert triage and prioritization, threat correlation across log sources, SIM rule tuning, and also noise reduction, incident escalation, and documentation. Why is this important? You're working as a SOC analyst. Your SIM fires 1,004 alerts overnight. By morning, the team has triaged 200, buried inside what a lateral movement event that started as a ransom chain. So what is this talking about? You need to be able to understand real SOC environments. Have you worked in a real SOC environment before? It's a 24 hours environment, shift kind of experience. Do you have an actual instance where you interacted with a real playbook, where you've interacted and managed fatigue, where you've interacted with actual escalation and all of that? You need to understand all of this. But if you don't work in an actual environment that exposes you to this, it is going to be risky. It's going to be risky for the company to trust you to really handle their own life server. So the industries that hire the most for SOC analysts is banking and financial services, defense and government, telecoms, as well as healthcare and also critical infrastructure. Okay, then for cloud and app security, the industries that hire the most for them is fintech and payment, retail and FMCG, energy and utilities, government digital platforms, and also telecoms. Their own work is to create production-grade pipeline design, understand it. They also need to understand how to create, by default, a secured platform. Because, oh, you are the cloud and app security person. Oh, this one is for cloud data engineering, sorry. So you need to understand exactly what is needed in terms of extracting your data, the data sources, and also being able to understand that if you leave some services running for long, you might end up incurring extra costs for the company. You wouldn't know this because as a data engineer, nobody gives you an actual access to a live server, AWS, Azure, GCP. They just tell you, you need to learn it. This is what it does. The trainer most likely has a paid platform, but you don't have it. Now you can't interact with it. So there are a lot of risks attached to creating these services. It can be a Redshift cluster. Now you don't know this because you were taught the concept of creating it and you can create it. But how about turning it off because it might incur cost and everything like that? So these are the things that are important. The same thing for GRC. It's easy to just digest theory as a GRC person, right? It's easy to just have the framework, memorize it, but actual work needs you to audit critical issues and present it, create trainings for the team and let them understand why it is important. All right, you will build skills around control gap analysis and remediation. You build skills around risk register management, evidence consolidation, and also audit readiness, policy writing for non-technical audience. And also the industries our projects are coming from are the industries that get hired the most or hire the most for GRC analysts. And they are fintech, healthcare, logistics, or legal and professional services. That's where one of our interns got a job in as a data protection paralegal, right? So she got a job with Hello DPO. I'll show you her profile on LinkedIn in case you want to check her out. Then defense and also critical national infrastructure as well. I briefly mentioned app and cloud security, having an opportunity where you can create a platform that automatically creates security by default. So you build such architecture and you're able to make sure that the platform is secure. So industries that hire the most for cloud and app security are SaaS, fintech, and retail and e-commerce, banking, government, cloud programs, and also telecoms, as well as, those are the industries that hire the most for them. Now, this is one of our interns. I won't be playing this video because of time, but he got a job 2 months into the program. Remember what I said, the period where you get to get these guys, where our guys get land jobs early is within 2 months, 3 months. So Jerry is one of them, and he shared the good news with his team lead. And Dari internship gives you access to team leads that work closely with you. So you are not doing this alone. You are working with experts that will guide you. Remember what I said about the simulation I had with the lady? She would need somebody to point her in the direction of step 1, step 2, step 3. And Dari gives you that within your first 2 months. You build that capacity and you start working independently, but still with your team. So he said, "Hi, Emeka. I just wanted to officially let you know that I have landed a data analyst role within the civil service, and it's a level promotion too. I was asked to prepare a presentation on any data analysis project I edited and submitted our first project. Saved me a lot of time and gave me confidence. Also spoke about the SQL project when they asked about data acquisition. Thank you so much for your mentorship, Emeka. Take your flower, I beg. Now, these mentors are people with about 5-10 years experience in the space, not fellow interns. So you are mentored by people that will improve the outcome of your work. Being mentored by people that have done this before means they know the standard. They know what the industry expects. So you know that work that you do, you are happy that, oh, I couldn't do this yesterday, I can do it today. You're patting yourself on the back that you've been able to achieve a particular milestone, which is amazing. But that milestone might still be subpar, right? It might still be below standard, but you're just happy because for you, it's growth, it's progress. But guess what? That's where experts, professionals come in. They would let you know that you can actually achieve more, you can actually do more. This is what the industry expects, and you need to play at that level. That's where their own input comes in. That's where the likes of Emeka come in also. So you become a professional or a practitioner through Amdari, not a graduate. And how do you become that? The quality of projects you would work on. I won't be playing Darlington's video because of time, but the link is attached right here. So you can listen to him after this session. He spoke about how he was able to show these recruiters that he can solve the problem for them because of the kind of projects he had worked at Amdari. And this is an example of those projects. We have interns building platforms, building real platforms that admins can use, that users can use, and it is just mind-blowing and amazing. This is an example. Our interns worked on a data margin erosion project where they analyzed 3 years of sales products for one of our clients. This is another one, customer segmentation for a subscription-based product. And these are the skills built, data blending across inconsistencies, just to mention a few. All right. Yes, I'm getting to that right now, Michael. So I'll share this slide so you can look at this type of projects our interns work on. Because if I want to keep breaking it down, it might still extend our time. But I would share this slide with you all. I promise. Please just ensure you fill the form, and my colleague would share with you. So our data science team worked on an AI and machine learning product. They worked on loan default early warning system platform also, as well as a forecasting engine for a UK retailer. So these are the kind of projects you work on, and you will see the skills that you would build right here. The same for cloud data engineering, they built a real-time financial data lake on AWS and also multi-source marketing data warehouse. We also have a project management team that worked on a rescue plan for a derailed data migration and also agile delivery of an internal analytics platform. And it just goes on. And like I said, I will share this slide so you can have a look at this. And just to briefly look at more of our interns that have landed jobs, I mentioned earlier, you can look them up on LinkedIn. This is one of our interns, Sandra Odushola Stevenson, interned as a GRC analyst and got a job within 5 months as a data protection paralegal with Hello DPO, a legal platform, right, in London area, United Kingdom. And this is Judy Chineze Onka, who interned as a data analyst in May, and she got a job in 3 months. She got the job in August and resumed in September with renewable cards in the UK. This is the last person and not the least, Betty Opedadi. She interned as an information technology project manager, January 2025, got a job April, resumed in May. She got the job in 4 months, and she got the job with the same job title with Echoes IT Limited in the UK. These are screenshots I got from their LinkedIn page, and you can also look them up. All right, sorry, let me quickly fix my camera again. So that's exactly the kind of skill that our interns have been building. So I spoke about the different stages of growth at Amdari. It's the uniformity stage, the formative stage, the transitional stage, emerging, collaborative, and professional. So that's 6 stages of growth that you will experience in your 4 months of internship with us. This is how you move from somebody who has no experience in this space to somebody with great experience and professional exposure in the space. And the first stage is within your first 2 weeks in the program. This is the part where we try to align with your current level of knowledge and expertise. So here we are pretty much trying to see that, okay, you don't know all of the tools yet, but this is how you can get up to speed. So we share with you foundational instructional videos that helps you fill the gap of skills that you don't have yet. We give you how-to videos for tools and platforms, how to download tools, how to use platforms. But bear in mind that you're already working on projects, just that we are still working with you in a way that it helps you learn. So it's not that, oh, I don't know how to use this tool. Omomi, can I still join? Yes. The first 2 weeks, you are being groomed and prepared for the progressive projects that you would still get to work on. So your first project and the first 2 weeks, you are building the skills around the gaps that you currently have. So it's possible Adiola already has skills in Python, Power BI, but she doesn't have skills in Excel, SQL. We would then help her get up to speed and learn all of that with this stage. Second stage is week 3 to week 6. Now, this is the part where you start to move to structured delivery. Yes, you're still learning on the job, but it doesn't stop there. You have guided projects from your team lead that they will be working with you on. And now you start having work plan and daily tasks. Now we are building your professional skill. So it's not just learning, you are really growing to become that professional that builds and grows into a, independent person. And that's where your stage 3, which is transitional, comes in. That's week 7 to 10. That's towards the end of your second month in the program. Now you're working on projects independently. Yes, we would still guide you. We will still support you. But think about solving the problem before escalating the issue. All right. Think about solving the problem before escalating the issue. So it's not like, oh, you can't solve the problem on your own. Somebody has to help you solve it. No, you need to attempt first. So think first, attempt to solve it, and then your team lead can now help you out when you're stuck. So you're building independence. You're thinking already like a professional. And then stage 4 is the point where you're already taking center stage and you're building and working on this project alone. Your team lead is still there to support and guide, but you have to start building and working independently. But you're not doing this alone. You have your teammates. You all are in this stage together. All of you are working independently without your team lead, but they are still there to support and guide you. Why this is important is because you cannot say you want to get a job and perform on that job without being that candidate that can thrive and get it done alone. You need to be able to do this alone. So Amdari builds you from supporting you up until when we can say, yes, Adiola can do this on her own, Taiwo can do this on his own, and it just goes on and on. But you have your team. Some of you on this call today will be team members. All right, some of you on the call today will be team members. So you're not doing this alone. Some of you would work with other cross-functional teams like outside of your department, and that is where collaborative comes. That happens in week 13. That's stage 5, second to the last stage. So here you are working. So if, let's say, Tolulope is joining us as a project manager, Tolulope will get to work with product designers, should get to work with business analysts, should get to work with data analysts. That is how you start expanding your knowledge base, because you working with these people would also mean you are building the needed capacity and competence within that area. And then you build a final professional skill and competence. So all the projects you've been working on, they're from our project partners. But you see this point, this is the point where you properly take the center stage, end to end. And it's also cross-functional. And all the projects, mind you, you will present to stakeholders, because each project will take 2 to 3 weeks, all right? And you would present to stakeholders at the end of each project. But your last project is the one that launches you into that professional space. And we at Amdari can now say, yes, every candidate or any candidate that we produce in the course of this program is a candidate that we can vouch for. And that's why we give you work reference letter. So we make sure you close the gap of inexperience in 5 to 6 projects for 4 months. All right. So if you'd like to join a team in our next cohort, it is very simple. And how you do that is by enrolling today. And enrollment is very easy. The program is going to help you learn, package by revamping your CV, prepping you for interviews, and then support you with application process through the CV matching platform that we have partnered with. That's how it's easy for you to get a job. I've kind of hinted on how this works. You don't work alone. You work in teams and you have a team lead. Your team lead is not a fellow intern. This person is your mentor. They work with you for about 5 to 6 throughout your project, all right? And they work with you Mondays to Fridays. Now, you're expected to show up Mondays to Fridays, but not 9 to 5. Just commit a minimum of 5 or 1 hour rather per day. A minimum of 1 hour is not me saying, oh, Chidebere, show up for just 1 hour. If Chidebere can do 2 hours, beautiful. If Ibrahim Othman can do 3 hours, perfect. all right, but a minimum of 1 hour per day. Yes, I'll show you right now, Samuel. I'm getting there right now. That's exactly how you do. This is one of our interns who we gave reference, and she cited the reference letter as one of the things that helped her land the job. And these are samples of companies sending us messages to request for reference letter. This one says, Olayinka has nominated you to provide an employment reference for the application to Healthcare Islands, and she got the job, thankfully. This person already got the job before they even reached out. And it says, the above named has been offered a position as a systems analyst and has provided your details as a referee. And that is exactly how our interns go on schedules. How do you enroll? A lot of people have been asking me. It's simple. I'm running a discount that allows you to pay £390 instead of £500. So enrollment fee is £390, but you don't need to pay all £390 at once. You can pay £99 today, and in a month's time, that's 14th or rather 18th of next month, you pay £145, and 18th of this April, May, June, 18th of June, you pay your last £145. That's how we make it easy for you to spread your payment across different months. So your first installment is just £99, and in 2 months' time, you'll be done paying your entire £390. So we make it very flexible. So you're able to pay in 3 months. And the beautiful thing is, by month 2, you have a coffee chat with a UK recruiter. We make this very easy and possible so that you are on the priority list of people that can be considered for job opportunity in the UK. So we partnered with, that was why I said earlier that we prioritize partnership a lot, because we know this is the best way our interns can win. So we've partnered with CV Matchly, so you can have free access for 2 months, and you need to enroll before the slots are taken. That's for CV Matchly. We partnered with recruiters, and because for them, so we've not been able to get a lot of recruiters. And recruitment is also based on priority. So you need, yes, the same thing applies to you, Doris. 100%, we have a team for the US category. So you can enroll today also to be considered for conversations with US recruiters. So you have coffee chat with them, and I have 10 more slots because it's closing. We want to have a very effective system. In fact, product design is not on my list of programs today because slots for product design is taken. So we always close slots once the team for that is complete. So for this also, for the slots for speaking to UK recruiters, once it's taken, we close it. We have 10 more slots. And if you'd like to be a part of them, you would have to secure your spot today. How do you secure your spot? It is very simple. We also have pre-CV, pre-portfolio website for you, which is what you see on my screen. Now, I'm going to show you how to secure your spot. Immediately, I show you what the CV, what this portfolio looks like. This is a portfolio website that makes it easy for you to document all your projects within Amdari and even outside Amdari. Now, you can have lifetime access to this portfolio. You don't pay for the domain name. You don't pay for hosting. You don't pay for anything. You have free access to it for life. And then every intern has 6 months free access. That's 2 months even after your internship. You still have access. That's how generous we are at Amdari. But because it's expensive to maintain for life for everybody, I mean, you're not paying for domain, hosting, server, maintenance. If we make more updates on this, you don't pay a dime for it. That is why we can't give it to everybody for life, but we give it to everybody for 6 months. This is one template. Oh, I don't like this template. You have more templates. Oh, yes, I like this template. It works for me. You can see this template on my screen. Or, oh, I don't still like this template. We have 20 more templates. Yes, you're going to get to ask me questions when I am done showing you how to secure your spots in like 2 minutes, or Malicha, 2 minutes, okay? So this is, but I just want to show you everything. Is that not, am I not being kind enough? I just want to show you everything, all right? But I'm done now, and you can ask me your question, okay? So this is exactly what the portfolio looks like. So please raise your hand. I can already see Ashish's hand raised. So I will start with him when I start taking questions, and I'll go to Musumola. So if you have questions, please also raise your hand because I am getting there right now. You see, we're done, like I said, right? So how do you secure your spot? Click on the link that I'm going to be dropping in the chat right now. So I'll be taking your questions in like 2 minutes. So click on the link you see me drop in the chat. My colleague has dropped it, but I'll still drop it from my end. So this is the link. Click on it to secure your spot. Please note that the coffee chat with recruiters, whether it's in the UK or US, it will be closing the minute we have 10 people. And it was 15 earlier today, but 5 people have already enrolled. That's why it's down to 10. So please, if you'd like to secure your spot, ensure you do that, okay? And you'll be brought to this page. Oh, what program would you like to enroll for? Scroll down, you see we have all the cybersecurity career paths here. I have data, I have business analysis. So just click on the one you want to apply for by clicking on apply here. Once you click on apply here, you can scroll down to read more. These are some of your team leads. This is, by team leads, I mean your mentors. Remember I said they are not very intense. So these are them right here. I think it's network that is not making it load, but you can check them out. These are the tools you would see for any career path that you're interested in. We list all the tools right here. Click on apply now. And you get redirected here. You can pay lesser than 2 nights. Yes, that's if you want to pay at once. You pay $350. If you want to pay at once, you pay $350. And this is exactly how you do it. But oh, you want to go with installments, that is still very fine. Just select that you want to go with 3 installments, and that will still reflect for you right here. So when are you looking to start? You can see May cohort is here, because what better time to start than yesterday, correct? So you can select May cohort right here. You're fine with everything you've selected. Proceed to payment. Once you proceed to payment, you would get redirected to this page that just summarizes your personal detail. As long as your information is correct, you don't need to edit data. But if there's anything you want to fix, that's okay. Click on edit data and it will show you this. So you can just make adjustments to your name, email address, and all of that. Then scroll down and you see here it says, oh, your first payment, £99, second payment, 45, third payment, 45, and oh, I can't pay on 18th. Payday is typically 31st. Yes, the fact that you're making payment, like you're trying and you make payment today, does not mean you now have to pay on 18th. You can move it forward to say, okay, payday is 30th. I'll pick 30th. So you can make that adjustment. So you see how Amdari really makes it easy and flexible for you to enroll. And then you're fine with everything. Select, I confirm my information is correct. I have read the terms and conditions. Please click to go read the terms and conditions and select pay now. Once you select pay now, you get redirected to this page where you can fill your card details. And once you're here, please feel free to type in your personal details, okay? Or rather your card details. Please feel free to type in your card details. Once you type in your card details, your payment becomes successful by clicking on pay. Now, because I won't be clicking on an actual card detail, I'll just finish it off by showing you how to finish your enrollment process here by selecting ×2. Remember, you select you select pay, and then it processes your payment, and your payment is successful, and you get redirected to fill a form. Please fill the form you see immediately after you pay. It is your enrollment form. It is very important. Once you fill that form, you will get redirected to go to your dashboard. The form just collects information like your skill level, select intermediate or beginner. It doesn't matter. Country of residence, UK, US, it doesn't matter. Your gender, male or female, doesn't matter. How you found out about Amdari, Instagram, LinkedIn, type it. What influenced your decision? Please type it. And right here, which of our sessions influenced your decision? By virtue of being on the call with me today, please select job hub, the UK job hub, okay? Select the UK job hub as the session that influenced your decision. You will see it on the drop down. Do not forget. And it will tell you your payment is successful and it will redirect you to your dashboard. You can take crash courses for free on Amdari dashboard. And you can also take a look at your payment summary. If you paid in installment, that means, oh, when is my next payment due? Upcoming. You paid the first one, so it says pay. You can see it right here. For other payments, first is you can see second installment, third installment. But if you paid once, I mean, yeah, you can still check the billing page, but it doesn't really matter because you have paid in installment. These are some of the crash courses. We have crash courses for every career path that I've been mentioning on the call today, and you can take it for free while you wait for 9th of May to start your internship. That is how easy it is to secure your spot in the program and join Amdari internship. Thank you so much for your rapt attention, for staying with me up until this point. I look forward to you securing your spot because like I said earlier, I will be taking questions and slots are limited. The discount, 390 from 500, is just for the next 24 hours. Please, if you want to use this discount, I would like you to use it in the next 24 hours. And then the coffee chat with recruiters, once the list is complete, we will be closing it because we will send you a form after you're done enrolling. Okay, thank you very much. So I see questions in the chat, how the learning will like, okay, it's virtual, it's online, Ashish. So the learning is going to be online. It's like working in a remote company. So, and I wouldn't necessarily call it learning. I would love to call it working. It's an internship. So you're coming to work, but yes, you're learning on the job. So it's going to be online, virtual like this. So Amdari itself is a company that operates remotely. So we have team members in UK, we have team members in Canada, we have team members in US. So that's how like we work remotely with teams. I've worked in an agency where my team members they were in India, some of my team members were in Nigeria, some of my team members were in Germany, right? So yeah. Samuel says, can current interns also participate in the coffee chat? Yes, Samuel, yes, you can. Yeah. Zilpa says, hello, Omomi, does this payment apply to those of us from Tenalytics? Yes, it does, except you already enrolled or your internship is covered from Tenalytics. If you already indicated to Tenalytics that you would be going for internship after your training with them, yes, you don't need to pay again. But if you did not pay for the internship package, you would have to pay this enrollment fee. I hope that answers your question, Zilpa. I have experience in project management, but want to learn data analytics. I want to explore my career in the field. This will be full-time. So yes, you can do that, Ashish. Nothing is stopping you from exploring. I mentioned earlier, I started as a software developer. I transitioned into product management and then business analysis. So please, by all means, feel free and explore as much as you can. But again, I don't know if you joined at that point. I said I needed to build experience for all of those stages. It was just easy because yes, I'm coming from a tech background, but I still needed to build experience. How can we sign up for the coffee chat as a current intern? So you would, how many months are you in the program? So you would have to join the next batch for the coffee chat, which is going to be in 2 months, Samuel. It's going to be in 2 months, but you will get a form from my colleague, Jennifer. Send her a message. She dropped her number earlier. So just send her a message. Let her know your team lead, your cohort, because since you're not enrolling right now, that means you've enrolled before. So we need to be sure that you're already in the pipeline. Okay, so we will add you to it. Just send a message to that number that was dropped earlier. Okay, so that is it. So I'll take questions right now. Verbal ones. I know I've been reading. Okay. So it will happen in 2 months. 2 months into your internship, Ashish. So once you're 2 months in, it cannot happen immediately because you've not built a lot of experience yet or project, and we are trying to pitch you to get that perfect opportunity. So if we're already telling you, oh, go have it when you don't have experience yet, the recruiters will be like, these people are not ready. So we want you to be ready. We want you to have built experience, and 2 months is enough to start. All right, so 2 months is enough because by virtue of even how we've seen it, our interns start getting jobs from 2 months. So that is when it happens. So the coffee chat, once the slot is taken, is going to close. Okay. All right. Let me take Ashish. Have you asked all your questions in the chat, or would you still like to say something? Yes, we give you reference letter. We give you reference letter 1000%. I showed you an example of one of our interns that got a job because of the reference letter that we gave her at Amdari. And I also showed you example of how the request comes from recruiters. So all of those requests came in, and let me just play this video for 15 seconds. I won't take our time. 15 seconds. So you will hear Toyi and how she said the reference from Amdari helped her. So I'll just forward it to this point. Yeah.
Tools that I've learned at Amdari, using them and all those. So it was pretty good. And then the reference too from your hand was pretty tight because they actually had to mention it that my references were hair tight, that they were actually considering 2 people, but my references actually nailed it for me.
Yeah. So I hope we got that. So we give you reference, and you can see how the reference made it easy for her to compete. Amdari makes you compete. No matter how good the other person is, we give you another edge and another edge and another edge. You just have to be willing to do the work with us also. Okay. So a lot of questions are coming in the chat, and I might not be able to ask people. So I need to hear from Osmola before I read the other questions in the chat. So let me hear from Osmola. Hi, Osmola. So I think Ashish has asked all these questions in the chat. Ashish, I hope I answered all your questions. Okay. Hi, Osmola. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ashish. Osmola, if you're speaking, you're muted. Oh, Jennifer or Alex, please, if you're here, Osmola cannot unmute herself. Yes, Mitch, yes, it is a viable path. This is going to be an opportunity to learn. And one thing I would advise you is enroll early so that you can take those crash courses on Amdari website. Okay, so those crash courses would help you start getting familiar. I hope you got that, Mitch. Hi, Osmola.
Hi, Momomi. Thank you so much for the session. Very inspiring, great information. However, I see that a lot of things you have said have addressed people that live in the UK. I had mentioned earlier that I live in Canada, even till the currency. Nothing specifically addressed people that are outside. Probably you have other platforms you want us to check this information and how it can work with our own time zone. That's one. And the second one is, yes, I see this program. And to be completely honest, I just completed this not with your organization. However, if you do have any product or services that addresses just focusing on job search, helping one to tailor their resume to, I could be directed to that platform to consummate that information and make an informed decision, because sincerely, I'm well experienced in project management. I have over 14 years work experience, and I am just looking for a job to make ends meet here for myself in Canada and integrate back into corporate Canada. So I understand what all of this is about, and consider that I just completed one. So I want to make me get value from my money. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Osmola, for that. And thanks for the background that you shared. So we have a platform, Talent Loop is the name, for just job application. You outsource it and they apply for you. And it's just job application, it's no work experience. So please, Jennifer dropped her number earlier. Kindly copy the number. It's so that she can get your own number and share with our colleagues. They'll call you specifically for that information on Talent Loop. So it's like an offshoot of Amdari, and it's because we know that people like yourself exist. I already have experience. I just need help with application. So we have that 100%. So Jennifer is going to share the number. So Jennifer, please, can you drop your number so they send you a message and you can support them with any information they need? Or please, the reason why I'm saying Jennifer should drop a message is so that you can get faster response. But I would still like you to fill the form. Okay.
Oh, I
already
submitted the form since the first time you shared the link.
Perfect.
So that's not a problem, because I also still want to go through, this session again.
The video. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Because for the recording of the session, you get it first thing tomorrow. But because some of you would need response immediately, that's I'm like, okay, Jennifer's number would be dropped. Please reach out to her and she would respond to you tonight. So then do we cater to people outside of the UK? Yes, like I said, the other two co-founders are in Canada. We have team members that also focus on interns that are joining us from Canada. So yes, we have that also. The only reason why you see that I have only tailored my own statement. I'll say statement because everything I say still applies to you. Location does not matter. The only part that just seems like, oh, I'm not calling something that relates to you is when I'm not mentioning Canada or US or the price in your currency. But everything else, how we do it at Amdari, the duration, everything applies to you. But you just have a team for your time zone. The UK guys have a team for their time zone. So that's why, like, it just seems like I've been mentioning UK and all that. And because we always have more of UK guys, we're just recently expanding to Canada. We expanded in January, so we've had a lot of people joining us from there also. So Jennifer has just dropped her number now. Yes, we have the teams for North America, that's Canada, US. So
Hi, Maromi.
go, yeah, Omalicha, please, sorry, please, I'll come to you in like 1 minute.
No worries.
When you go to the website, Musmola, you would see the pricing in your currency also, and it's in installments as well. All right, so it's because, yeah, I'm like, my location is not Canada, that's why mine is in pounds. All right, so if you go to your website, you'll see your own based on your location. Does that help, Musmola?
Yes, it does. So the final question, so that you can go to the next person. You know, you had mentioned on the course of the session that when we go to the Matchly AI and we try to attempt what you had showed us, I saw that it was taking, when I upload my resume, it was redirecting me to pay for it. I thought you said if I joined this session, we were going to have maybe like three
credits.
Yeah, 3 credits. Is there anything, maybe like a code or something that we need to apply to enjoy that?
Okay, so the actual code comes with the enrollment. For the free credits, I'll take a look at that to see why it's not there right now. But yeah, for the normal one that comes with you not paying, we have a partnership link. That partnership link is what you would choose. So it's not like I'll give you a code, I'll give you a unique link. So that unique link would come with your onboarding email. So that unique link is what you use, and it will not ask you for money. All right, because this link I dropped is just the normal link and it just comes with the 3 credits. But the one I would send to you, it's not going to ask you to pay, and you use it for free for 2 months. So you can choose to use it when you know that you're getting close to start applying actively. So everybody can use it at different time. You just know that you have that standard free access for 2 months. I can choose to use mine in a month's time, in 2 months' time, in 3 months' time, but I know that I have that standard access for 2 months. Okay, so does that answer your question?
Oh yes, it does.
Okay. All right, thank you. So let me go to Omalicha, then I will come to the questions I see in the chat. Hi, Omalicha.
Hi, Maromi. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Okay, very well, thank you. Okay, my question is